Bro, what the fuck? Whoa!
Yeah. Pain. Yeah. Hey. I just wanna touch the top. Baby said that she in love and she don't love the lie. Been chillin' with all the bros, I've been above the spot. Shawty said that things change, well it does a lot. Hey, watching out the payment, man, the sun is high. Yeah, lost inside the heart, but it's emerging right. I've been out the way and I'm good. I can find my home. Everything I said it was is not. Yeah, Jamaica, how you layin'? Yeah, you ain't say none, what you saying, baby? I lost you, but who's paying? Don't know why you hit my phone, why you playing? Yeah, I can't handle love without the trusting. Yeah, I can see the top, I wanna touch it. Yeah, yeah, we been getting money, no discussion. Now I don't let it top, and shorty always get the fussy. Yeah, hey, I like the cruise on it. Say she like the way I sound and how I groove on her. I been steady dodging bullets, how I move on her. But he talking out his neck and not a crew on her. Yeah, and I'm sliding. Shawty like the vibe, don't want the right thing. Yeah, to the nice end, yeah. To the nice end, I can always keep the cool, I'm never fighting. Man, I love was all the cake without the icing. Now I found new love, different pricing, and it won't cost my soul, no devices. Yeah, I ain't got a plan for it, I'm the man for it. Still the Brody couldn't stand for it, it's very important. I've been off the edge, I've been feeling the wind blowing. I can lose my head and my heart, but they been gone. I just hit the edge of stairs when it's dead time. I just lost promises, I regret mine. I just gained a lot of love on the west side. I'm the GOAT, but I would never be the best guy. You might take me out of business like a Best Buy. Talk about the go to maybe zoo and I know that's right. Yeah. Talk about the go to maybe zoo and I know that's right. Thinking about the future looking good and it's the best side. I remember.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. My name is Tyco. I am joined tonight by Snoop Luke, Nick Dilly, and The Wanderer. As usual, we got the full cast tonight, and we also have NFL football back tomorrow. We are recording today on Wednesday, just so you guys know. Today is Wednesday. We will be recording on Wednesday, just so you know. I'm telling you that so that you know what I'm taking these bets at. When I tell you my bets later, the lines are Wednesday morning / Wednesday night lines. That's what we're getting. So if you hear these bets and you're like, well, mine doesn't look the same. Well, it's not Wednesday anymore, probably. So with that being said, we do have college football picks to go over. Every single one of us went 1 and 2. So that was disappointing. And we have NFL picks to start and more college football picks to make. We have tons of football to get into. We got a week 1 college football recap. We got NFL week 1 to talk about. We got MLB. We got, believe it or not, the Angels. Yep, we're talking about the Angels again today. Dylan may or may not have a slight tiny obsession, but we're gonna allow it. It's okay.
I'm not. I told you I'm done. I'm letting Jesse do it. I'm not.
Oh, you're not gonna do it. Okay, I don't care. I really don't care, especially about the Angels. Anyways, MLB. We got UFC to talk about as well. So we got a lot for you guys today. So we're gonna start where the action is, and that is, as everyone knows, college football. Let's go around the horn here before I put any of these games here. The U.S. Open is not where we want to start. It's not even where we want to end, and we don't want to find ourselves somewhere in the middle of the U.S. Open. However, college football week 1 takeaways. Dylan, I'll go to you first before I talk about some specific games. What was your take? Some of your takeaways from week 1?
I liked that a lot of the high Heisman candidates kind of not underperformed, but almost let the door get cracked open for a bunch of people that were in that 6 through 10 spot in the running that had really good weeks that I liked. So I like that the Heisman conversation, I feel like, just got opened a lot bigger. And then I also like the fact that I saw what game that I know we will get into specifically, but that was one of the best college football games that's happened in quite some time. Also happened over the weekend. That was my short little takeaway.
Okay. Dylan got a memorable game in there. We'll definitely talk about it. I know we got a couple games we're going to mention specifically. Jesse, how about you? Takeaways from week 1 of college football? Kind of wild.
It was a wild weekend, but I think the biggest thing I took from it was the fact that a lot of these teams that we expected to come out and be, dominant teams, you can see everybody knocking the rust off of the in-game play.
You definitely can. I think that may or may not have something to do with a specific game. I think I have one in mind, being Ohio State and Notre Dame, possibly.
Oh, yeah.
Being a much closer game than I think everyone expected. But we will talk a little bit more about that one as well. Luke, how about you? Takeaways from week 1.
It was a crazy weekend. The craziest game I've seen was that LSU and Florida State one. That ending was absolutely bonkers. You didn't know how it was going to end because every time someone had the ball, it was like, oh, this team's for sure going to lock this up. And then the next second, no, the other team had that position.
I definitely agree. And I mean, honestly, let's just stay with that because the first game that I want to talk about is Florida State and LSU. What I would word as chaos. I mean, I don't know if there's any other way to word it. Really, the end of this game was chaos.
It was straight chaos because when all was in doubt and everyone thought the game was tied up because just a simple little field goal. Well, it's not that simple, huh?
Clearly.
You got to block.
No, especially in college where special teams can be an issue for a lot of teams because, well, they look at offense, they look at defense. They forget about special teams sometimes, just a little bit. Don't give it nearly as much love. And when it doesn't get as much love, it's bound to make more mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I was obviously I watched the highlights of this game. I couldn't watch it live because I was violently throwing up over a balcony for no apparent reason. But
love that for you.
I will say thank you. I will say that I heard the chaos outside. You, Luke, and everyone else reacting to it. Followed along on Twitter. Thank you, Barstool Sports, for fucking keeping me updated. And fucking as I was going through it, I will say, following along, I think that was one of the best college football games that I've seen in quite some time. But what was interesting to me was the fact that I feel like LSU's quarterback played a completely different game first half, second half. Like, he only finished with 209 yards, and, he had 2 touchdowns. He played all right, but, like, fourth quarter, I would just say, fuck second half. He was a different man. Do you disagree?
Is that positive or negative? I don't even know what you're kind of leaving me on a bookend here.
I'm just saying that's what
ending.
I took away from it. I took away that LSU's quarterback can.
Yeah, but you said he was a different man. You didn't say he got better. You didn't say he got worse. You said he was different. I'm asking you now what that means.
What I'm trying to say is that there's 2 ways he can play, and that I don't think that's a good thing because he's inconsistent.
Did he play better in the
quarter?
He's going to be the fourth quarter guy, or you don't know he's going to show up. He's going to be the first 3-quarter guy.
Dylan,
did he play better in the first or second half?
Second half, 100%.
Okay, you never clarified that. You just kept saying he's a different man in 2 different halves.
I just wanted to know if different was good or different was bad.
I don't know if
clearly was bad. I mean, they did lose the game, so I mean, I could have put that one together. But I mean, I'm just trying to teach you how to answer questions. We're trying to work on character building.
I did kind of answer it like
it's also a different. It's also a different story.
That's why you don't do drugs, kids. There's nothing wrong with drugs.
I'm confused.
All right, next up, I know we were going to talk about this game as well. Ohio State defeated Notre Dame. I think everyone expected Ohio State to defeat Notre Dame. I did. But the game was a lot closer than a lot of people expected. Notre Dame did cover the spread, for those of you that give a shit. They did cover the spread because they didn't get blown out by halftime. I think that's the only reason they did. But Notre Dame, as almost everyone expected, lost. And it's because I believe they don't have a passing game. And what did they do? They only ran the ball 7 times in the fucking first half.
CJ did okay, but I think the biggest thing is the fact that fucking
I don't know.
Smith Najibba got fucking hurt and only had 2 receptions for 3 yards the whole game, and he's fucking the front runner for Heisman and wide receivers. So
he's the front runner for like top 5 draft picks.
But honestly, the
Hold
only
up.
reason why
Did
this
y'all
game was
see
still
the?
close is Notre Dame's defense. What's up, Luke?
Yeah, but we cannot forget about the catch that Notre Dame wide receiver had.
Which one?
Oh, the juggle
The
magoo.
juggle.
Oh, from Ekabuka?
I don't know who it was, but I just know I saw an absolutely unreal catch that I haven't really seen ever.
Yeah, I think it was Ekabuka.
Ever.
I think it was unreal. I just think there was a little bit of luck sprinkled on top of that. Ain't no way you
Well, a
just
lot of
happen to fall into that
well,
scenario where you're
every single play has a little bit of luck sprinkled into it.
not true.
That is
Maybe
very
that's kind of true, but it's not fully true.
You need
If you do
need
everything
more skill than
perfectly
luck.
and you get a touchdown, there's no luck. But honestly, a lot of things go wrong almost every single play. So like, I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like you might be right, but at the same time,
Because you got to get lucky.
you can't be right.
Your team. Yeah, I'm right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, but I don't think that's correct. But I can say that statement accurately. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. From Wild Fuller, Ohio was looking a little bit more cautious after a certain team beat them last year.
Notre Dame.
We don't need
always
this
top in the
type of.
country.
We don't
No,
need
let
this,
me say
Zach.
this time. Let me say this time.
We don't
Notre
need
Dame-
this.
Notre Dame always has the top D in the country. That's a big reason why they always get a high ranking that they do, and they always produce high cornerback DBs that they do. And I think that they're known for always having an so-and-so offense and a high-profile defense. That high-profile defense, obviously you're going to factor in that injury on the wide receiver one, but that high-profile defense is a reason why most of the game you go into the third quarter, looking at the end, it's only 14-3. So I think that it was the defense that was actually making Ohio State not look as good and had nothing to do with last season, nothing to do with what you just said. Completely inaccurate statement.
Have to agree. Full Wolverine bandwagon coming out and probably going to get destroyed by Ohio State this year.
Zach,
100%.
you just might be onto something there, sir, because they were shook.
Oh, God.
They were absolutely frightened. They even said it themselves. Their coach came out and said it. Their only goals are to beat Michigan, win the Big Ten, and win the Natty. They are so worried about Michigan, they can't even focus on other teams enough to cream them when they need to.
I hate when he does this. He just makes it about one team whenever we talk
Hey,
about it.
I mean, when you ride in the Michigan wagon,
You know
this
those
is
guys.
what happens.
It has nothing to do with
Ohio
Michigan.
State's going to
The
destroy
guys in
Michigan.
blue
Or
and
is it
yellow,
Disney?
they got to make sure you know.
Back-to-back years. We're going for two. We're going for two.
The fact that you bring Michigan into an Ohio State and Notre Dame debate right here maybe means that they're in your head a little bit.
Did
Just
you
wanna
not
pump that out
understand Zach's comment?
there. I'm just saying.
They go like
That's what they
this.
think of. You guys are
Hey,
always
Dylan.
Ohio
Hey, Dylan.
State and Michigan fans
You
are
wanna
always just...
shut the fuck up? Okay. You wanna know something? Okay. You wanna know something? If an Ohio State person hears the word Michigan, they get mad. If a Michigan person hears the word Ohio State or just Ohio, they get mad and they think about the other team's football team. That is how it works. I don't know how this needs to be explained, but that they just get brought up. When one gets brought up, the other's in the conversation, and then there's a fucking argument every time. Ask anyone from Ohio. Just walk up to them and say the word Michigan. We do have another game that I want to bring up, though. Arkansas defeating Cincinnati 31-24. Let me just be the first to say I'm so happy that Cincinnati lost their first game of the year so that we don't have to spend the whole season going, oh my God, is Cincinnati going to make the playoff? Is Cincinnati going to make the playoff? Because that was one of the dumbest ideas ever, was putting Cincinnati in the playoff, and I'm happy that Arkansas defeated them. I don't care if they win the rest of their games.
You know who I like,
playoffs.
though, was that boy KJ Jefferson. Can we talk about him real quick?
Say about it. Talk about it.
I like KJ Jefferson. I think he did really good. He was 18 for 26, 223 yards, 3 touchdowns, 179 QBR rating, and he hit every single receiver. Not to mention, let's also talk about Raheem Sanders, who's going to be one of the top backs in the league, who had 117 yards. I mean, I think Arkansas is not going to be a bad team. I like the QB. I like the defense. The only thing that worries me a little bit is that O-line. But I think Arkansas is going to be a fun team to watch this year. That's just my opinion.
Nice take.
And I like KJ Jefferson a lot.
I mean, Cincinnati lost everything that made them who they were last year. And they weren't that much last year, it's starting to look like, because they don't have any. They only lost, 4 players to the draft, maybe 6.
Well, I think this also shows how high of an impact Riddler was, how high an impact player he was.
And their corners.
Yeah.
Safety.
And how well Cincinnati can recruit. I mean, it's kind of hard, especially with the way things are going nowadays. It's a little harder if you're Cincinnati, probably, to recruit. But we'll move on to the next game here. UNC and App State. For those of you that know me, you know I'm a UNC guy. However, this was one of the most absurd fourth quarters that I think I've ever witnessed. I didn't even watch the whole thing, but it took up about half of the highlight time on ESPN. In fact, I don't even think you needed to watch the rest of the game because the fourth quarter had 63 points alone. So that's one game that you bet the over on. Also may or may not be following UNC and App State very hard on betting overs this year. May or may not follow that trend. Because if they don't want to play defense all game, well, I'll bet overs. But UNC and App State took it all the way till the final buzzer, scoring, I believe, 130-some points in this game combined. App State ended up losing after making almost a 40-point comeback. First off, how you almost lose the game after being up by 40 points, beyond me. But UNC, not known for football, okay? The best thing that we had was Sam Howell, and he's not great. So, let that be known. But we're playing App State, all right? I get it. It's App State. You can give up a little bit in the second half. I don't care, but a 40-point lead that turns into a 60-plus point fourth quarter that turns into an almost loss, and then your coach is dancing in the locker room afterwards because you guys won. Bad program.
Y'all have no secondary.
Bad. No one did. Both teams gave up essentially.
I know.
By
I'm
the
just
time
saying,
we got to the fourth quarter with 10 minutes left, it was shoot. They were playing 500.
I know you're
Dead or alive.
Be more focused on what North Carolina does in this season rather than Appalachian State. So I'm trying to focus more on them because they also won the game too. But they shouldn't have But
this podcast is not about Tyler's personal beliefs and what Tyler cares about.
But what I'm saying is, is that I feel like last year the only thing that kept him in it was their defense because Sam Howell was supposed to be some dog, and then he would throw 2 picks every game. Then you're like, God damn.
They were barely even in it last year.
But now, if they don't have a defense or an offense, I think they're both in the pooper. Sorry.
Well, I'm not a Georgia or an Alabama fan, so I mean, all hopes of a title are out the window. By the way, Georgia proved to everyone that they are Alabama. So
Oregon is not that.
If anyone wants to know who's playing in the playoff, I can tell you 2 of them. But those are the games that I wanted to mention from college football week 1. Absolutely nuts. Does anybody have a game that I did not mention that you would like to talk about real quick?
I think you covered all the ones that needed to be covered.
Michigan State looked like garbage against Western.
They got 21 points in the first quarter.
I didn't like the way that we looked.
Yeah.
At all. I think that I'm okay with it because they played a lot of second and third string guys in the second half, just trying to get guys playing time and figure a bunch of stuff out. And things were not going the way they expected to. They expected to keep rolling through different waves of people and getting, exactly what they want, which is more points for them, less for Western. And Western kind of started to stay in the game, make a little comeback. And they were like, all right, put the ones back out. And they got 21 points. So, I mean, I don't like the depth we have at Michigan State right now, but I mean, maybe it's just taking some time.
Maybe I do.
I just didn't like the way it looked.
Second and third stringers were playing in the second half because in the second half we got more points than the first half.
I don't know. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the way Michigan State looked overall, and I don't think that. I think you'd be a fool to say that you like the way Michigan State looked against Western.
No, I don't.
Knowing who they're playing,
no. But
they should have done better.
their depth, I feel really good knowing that our second and third stringers balled out in the fourth quarter and our fucking first stringers played like shit.
They weren't
Maybe
in
like
the
a
fourth
fire
quarter.
under their ass to know
They
that
put the
their spot's about to
first.
get
They
taken.
put the ones back in the fourth. Do you listen to me when I speak?
You never said that.
Yes,
When
he
they
did.
started losing, they put the ones back in.
He
Hence
did
my
say
whole
it.
point that they don't have depth.
They were never losing. They were almost losing. They were never losing.
Yes. What? Well, the second string lost to Western Michigan's first string. If you only look at those, if you only look at when Western's first string is out there against Michigan State's second string, Western Michigan's first string beat their second string. Then Michigan State was like, "This game's way too close. We're literally playing fucking Western Michigan on a Friday night. Why are we killing ourselves?" Put the ones back in and scored 21 points in the fourth quarter.
All right, got you.
Yes. Moving on now because I don't want to get more rattled about thinking about how shitty we played. Hopefully we just do better and I can pretend like we never played Western Michigan. Let's get into college football picks for week number 2. I have the record at the bottom of the screen. For those of you just listening, I will let you know that, well, we're all 1-2. So there's not a lot to look into. There's literally, we're tied for last, okay? No one's in first, and I only say that because we're all losing.
In A, B, C, and D order, and I'm going to put Jesse at D. I'm going to put Dylan at C. I'm going to give Snoop the B. Damn. Heard.
Woo!
At least you're in second, Luke. At least you're in second.
Wheeling and dealing, baby. What can I say?
All right, so college football picks for week 2.
That was funny.
I mean, Dylan, you wanna be the Mo Fluffa to go first? Because I think I'm selecting you to go first.
I'm ready to go first. All right, so here's how I'm feeling. I got 2 upsets and I got a favorite. So starting with the favorite, Florida and Kentucky. I absolutely loved what I saw from the quarterback from Kentucky last week. Florida last week. I think that he did very well. I like what Florida's doing. I'm going to take them to beat Kentucky -5.5. Take the spread. Then I'm going over to Baylor and BYU. Even though Baylor's the 9, they are actually not the favorite in this game because BYU's secondary and their quarterback is very good. But I'm taking Baylor's money line. And then for the final game, I have Iowa State and Iowa. After what I saw last week from Iowa, I don't care that they're favored. These two normally always have a good, low-scoring game. And I'm going to take Iowa State to money line on the upset because I think Iowa is dog shit.
I love that. I think Iowa looked like dog shit also. Not one of my games, but I will start with one of the games that you picked. I also had this game as well, and I had the same exact pick. Number 9 Baylor at number 21 BYU. Like Dylan said, BYU is the favorite in this game, and I do like BYU a lot, but don't sleep on Baylor. Baylor money line is what I'm taking in this one. Next up, number 10 USC is going to Stanford and only getting a touchdown and a half. -7.5 USC. I'm taking USC all the way on this one. I don't know what's so great about Stanford, but USC -7.5 on the spread for that one. And the final game, Hawaii is coming to Michigan. And I think that it's going to be one of the ugliest football games that you'll ever watch if you're a Michigan fan. And it's going to be 100% in your favor. I'm taking Michigan on the -51.5 fucking spread because I have to. I think it is a walk in the park. Michigan is literally walking a poodle. And, I mean, it's not hard to walk a poodle.
It's 51.5.
Luke, you're muted and you're up next.
I realized that. Well, all
Leave it
right.
to you.
Hello, Michigan. Yes, they are. Speaking of Michigan, this is the biggest spread they've ever had in Michigan's history. That being said,
And you're betting
I'm
it.
fucking taking it.
Yes, ma'am.
We're also taking ASU's spread of +11.5 against Oklahoma State. We are also
Okay, Oklahoma State just got the dub, taking them to get the L next week. I like it.
Well,
Central covered the spread.
Not necessarily.
Shout out the boys.
And Texas A&M to cover the -18.5 spread. You add those all together in a lay for +595. Throw 50 on it, you get 347. That's the lay.
That's all
right
she wrote,
there.
folks. That's all she wrote. Giving him a lay. Love to see it. First lay of the college football season given out by Luke. If you want to take it, juicy odds, boys. Juicy odds.
Nasty week, but we're going to start it off with Pittsburgh plus 6.5 against Tennessee. Weird game, but I feel it. Now, we know how I was. That's going to be a defensive game all the way. You guys can take the under on that. It's not going to be more than 36 points in that game. I mean, 39.5. Not it. For my last
39.5, is that the number?
That's the number.
All right, under 39.5 in the Iowa game. Okay,
The Iowa versus Iowa State.
Yes. Dylan also has money on that game. What do we got? What else?
I'm going to go with the West Virginia minus 13.5 against Kansas.
All right. There it is, folks. There you go. Some college bets in your life. If you guys didn't know what Luke's favorite college football teams were, those are all three of them. For those of you that couldn't pick up on that, Dylan picked up on that. And
that's what I was going to say, and then I realized
yeah.
my mic was muted. I was like, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who didn't know what Luke's favorite college football teams were, he just wrote all three of them.
He just wrote them all down for you.
But they're good.
But college football, wrapped.
Yes!
NFL Week
Joe
1 is here. First thing we have to talk about is Joe Flacco starting Week 1.
Joe,
it is not Zach Wilson. Dylan, you are the most excited. What do you got?
Joe the Pro is starting Week 1. Wilson's out 3 weeks. And you know what that means? It's 3 weeks too long because that's enough time for Joe to come in and steal your spot. You want to know why? Week 1. Who's he got to play? The Ravens, the Super Bowl team that he took to the Bowl. And you know what? Week 1, I'm liking that matchup a little bit more now that Joe the Pro and his new receiving weapons are taking on Baltimore. I like that.
You are cracking me up right now. Please keep going. Who else do they play, Dylan? Who else do they play? Who do they play Week 2 and Week 3? It sounds like you know exactly what's going on here. It sounds like you know exactly how Joe the Pro is going to route this motherfucking young quarterback into the backup role.
Here's exactly what's going to happen. So Week 1.
A foolproof plan.
So here's the plan, okay? I got the schedule in my hands. So Week 1, it's Baltimore. All right. I just explained why that's a big game. Then number 2, you go to Cleveland, okay? Then you go over to Cleveland after they just came off of that angry loss to Baker Mayfield Week 1. They're coming out Week 2, and then Joe the Pro is going to light that rage even more, throw for over 200 yards, a couple tutties. You might even see Elijah Moore get a tutty, help me on fantasy. And then we're going to come in Week 3 against Cincinnati, and we're not going to talk about that because Cincinnati's going to go bad. But by that point, we're going to go 2 went good, 1 went bad. Think about how Zach Wilson played last year. And by Week 4 against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Joe the Pro will still be QB1.
Wow. That's hot.
That's why you don't do drugs, kids.
There it is. You're nuts.
That's my plan.
They feel like they got their generational quarterback since Joe Namath, and you're telling me they're not going to start him for old Flacco when he gets back healthy? Are you serious?
Wilson ain't shit.
You're muted.
This is a perfect example of quarterback is uninjured. Thanks for all you did for those 3 weeks. Glad we're 3-0. Plug in the rookie or plug in the next second year. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to plug back in the young guy and keep going.
Why don't
there's no reason to dwell on this. Let's go to one of Luke's teams and talk about one of Luke's players because this guy was being stupid and now his team is mad at him. Chase Young. He was trying to be great.
Tyler. You were a Washington guy, Heineke guy. Oh,
Heineke's not quarterback anymore.
Honestly, I'm just a Chase Young guy.
They killed my vibe. They took me from 100 to 0 like that. They're also in a lot of controversy right now, and I
Solid
cannot
Trump
support
shit.
this controversy.
Yeah, I can't either. I just support you.
I went overboard last off season and didn't throw me the life raft, so I just kept swimming.
The good thing is you're swimming in blue water.
I'm swimming in blue water,
Out of the
Dylan. I am
boat into the Ram blue water.
Look. In the deep end, it's Ram blue. In the shallow end, it's Honolulu blue. And I ended up in Hawaii. So obviously, the blue Kool-Aid running through my system is insurmountable at this point. I explained this to Dylan when we were watching Hard Knocks, the final episode the other night. I said I am a Rams fan, I am a Lions fan, and I picked the Bills to win a Super Bowl because I think they will. There's so much blue in that. There's so much blue. I just can't get behind it. But all the other blues, except
and
for
North
Carolina
blue.
Oh, yeah, but I don't like the Panthers. It has to be the college. It's very specific. And the Red Wings are red. So.
The Red Sea.
I don't know. Anyways, Chase Young worsens his injury at Von Miller's camp. Dylan, what the hell?
So Chase Young went to Von Miller's training camp, and he worsened his ACL injury. And the worst part about this is that Washington, one, didn't know that he was going to be doing physical activity at Von Miller's camp. A big reason why he went is because it's a kid thing. So he said, if you want to go interact with the kids, help get kids exercise and teach them how to play football, who are we to... What's happening? What's going on? So I'm like, who are we to fucking say no to that? And then he goes there, worsens his injury. Washington finds out. Washington's pissed at Chase Young for doing physical activity at the camp. And now you have someone that's probably going to be out till week 6, week 7. What do we think?
This is so stupid.
I think it's a really dumb
move. This
is
so
do
dumb.
Any activity. Go there for the kids. Say hi. Say hi to
supposed to happen, but damn, is it sad that it happened.
The thing is, bro, if you know you got a potential to worsen your injury by doing some stupid shit, just don't do anything stupid.
I don't want
It's
him
only
to be
stupid
prone.
because he got hurt.
No, it was still stupid, even though he didn't get hurt.
Be stupid. Leave my mans alone.
This is not about him being your man.
He was trying to be great.
He was trying to be good with the kids.
He's trying to be great. Well, he's being stupid.
He was trying to be for the kids.
Do you know how much effort you have to give to be better than a kid? You know how much effort you have to give to be better? But this much. This is how much effort he has to give to be better than one of those kids.
Fuck the kids.
No way you should be hurting yourself going this hard. Unless you were going against Von Miller in a drill. Bad idea.
He was being a community guy, okay? Can't fault him for that. What a guy. Guy.
You know what? In the comments, you guys can be the judge. Is that smart or is that stupid? I think it's stupid. But we'll move on because we have to. Next up, we have Trubisky getting the starting role in Pittsburgh as the Steelers starting quarterback. This has been kind of weird. I mean, there's just three quarterbacks there, and they have an option to make. And Trubisky gets the starting role to start the year. You guys think this is the right move?
Yes.
Yeah. Trubisky.
Well, they don't have many moves.
And Rudolph makes sense to me. Pickett's not ready yet. I don't think so.
Not at all, of course.
With that offensive line, you want somebody who's already used to getting hit. Trubisky, perfect guy.
Let's just put it
Trubisky has to start then.
Yeah.
He's the only one that can get hit that many times and probably fumble at the least. He's like, well, you fumbled at the least amount of times in practice, you get to start.
Luke, what were you saying?
Let's just put it this way. It's a bad decision, but it's their only option.
Yeah, because Pickett ain't shit. You ain't going to put the third string in.
I don't think he ain't shit. I just don't think he's ready.
I've been saying it since he got drafted. You know that's just my opinion. And I'm
I know. I
don't think he's a good quarterback. Little hands, little brain. I don't think he's very good.
Little hands, little brain.
Are you saying he has little hands and little brain, or that little hands created a little brain?
No, I'm saying I think he has little hands, and I think he also has a little brain.
He had a big brain moment with that fake slide.
Yeah, he had to make them realize they forgot to plug a hole.
I think he created a whole rule doing that shit.
No, he did.
And then they banned it immediately.
Immediately.
They're like, damn, we never thought somebody was going to do that. Did we? Nope. No, we didn't. All right.
Well, someone
Can't
freaking did it, didn't they?
have that anymore.
Well, moving on to a team that I believe is winning the Super Bowl. Dawson Knox
Hey, me
has
too. You
signed
keep saying you. Remember, it's we.
Oh. The team that I think is going to win the Super Bowl signed Dawson Knox to a $53.6 million extension. Really, this is just, I guess, 2 years after and then 2 years for. So, yeah, they gave him a 4-year contract. The next 2 years are probably going to be shooting for this ring. And if they don't get it in the next 2 years, well, the next 2 years are just like, well, we have you for 4. So, whatever. But we all know that windows in the NFL are rather small. And locking him in for 4 years, I mean, he's a top tight end. He's definitely top 10. And he's good in Buffalo. And with the quarterback they have, he definitely has been doing some damage. I think he's worth the money.
He's definitely worth the money. They made a good choice.
I agree.
I like those.
Did I mention it was 4 years? I think I did.
You
4
covered it.
years.
No, I don't think you did. How
No,
long?
you said it. You said
Was
you
it
think
5?
It's a 4-year extension and includes $31 million guaranteed.
I thought
No,
it was
I know.
a 7-year.
I repeated it like 4 times. That's why I said it again. But that's all the NFL news that we have other than all the games that are going to go on. So NFL picks for week 1 are coming up now. So we all had 3 picks that we decided on, and we're going to do same thing as college here, but go through the NFL games. You can give a quick analysis on the game, the teams real quick, and then the other guys can definitely come in as well. If you have the game, if you pick the game that someone else brings up, just get in on that conversation about that game and give your pick as well. So then we'll talk about the rest of the games afterwards. But we're going to start it off same as we did with college. Dylan, what do you got?
All right, so my first pick, I had to do it because, 1, I didn't think any of you guys were, and 2, they're my favorite team. So I have the Tennessee Titans -5.5 beating the New York Giants because I would be very shocked if the New York Giants pulled off this win, and I would also start rethinking the entire season. Second game is
Hold on.
Green Bay.
I also have that one. I got Titans -5.5. I got the exact same pick because I think that this is kind of disrespectful to the Tennessee Titans.
Thank you.
Honestly, the Giants are garbage, and I think the Titans do win this game. And I think that they win it by at least a touchdown. It's the fucking Giants. Are we being for real right now?
They're not good at all. I think they're still not going to be that good at all. But the second game I have is the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. And this one's probably going to be a hot topic because I feel I'm not the only one that picked this game. When it comes to the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings, believe it or not, I am taking Vikings money line. Yes, I think that it's finally time Green Bay starts off the season with a close loss. Last year, they started off the year 0-1. They got blown out by the Saints. It was like a 30-point game. Everyone was like, what the fuck is going on? I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be a close game back and forth. Minnesota is finally going to start off the year winning a close game. That's what I have going. Anyone else have that game?
No, sir.
Yeah.
Oh,
Luke, what you got?
I got their money line too.
Beautiful.
But
Both
I
right in
guess-
Minnesota?
You want me to get into the rest of mine now?
Well, I
Okay.
got one more.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear. You got Minnesota as
Alright,
well, you said?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
All right, and then my
Doubling
final
up
game
against the
is
Pack. I like.
Jacksonville Jaguars at the Washington Commanders. I am actually taking another upset with the Jacksonville Jaguars +2.5.
that's what I'm talking about.
I think they have a lot better team this year. I think that Washington is not going to do anything impressive. I think they are going to be well below 500. So give me the Jaguars +2.5.
Dylan, I'm glad we agree on one. You know, we both got that Jags money line.
Each of you agreed with me
I
on one of my
feel you.
picks. I feel so good right now.
And it was all different. None of them were the same.
Exactly. I'm very happy right now.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely riding that Jags pick. I'm feeling that Jags money line.
All right, beautiful. That's me. Who's next?
All right, I'll carry it on here. You guys heard I have the Titans -5.5. Of course, Dylan riding that one with me as well. The next game I have is the Bucks at the Cowboys. I am taking the Dallas Cowboys money line. I'm taking a home dog. I know there's a lot of home dogs in Week 1 this year, but I'm taking the Cowboys money line. I think the Bucks are going to find out they have more problems on that offensive line than they think they do when the Dallas Cowboys are running it through their throat and getting right to Tom Brady. I think that's going to happen. But I'm taking the Cowboys money line on this one.
So am I. That was another one of mine. These two got 2 of my 3 out of the way.
Well, Jesse, what's your reasoning?
I mean,
My reasoning
you can still give me some. Yeah.
is because of the fact I don't think we remember how this game goes. Because like last year, it was the Thursday night game to start the season. And it was straight scoring the whole
And it turned into a flag fest.
Yeah, they got terrible. But there was so many injuries in that game. And now they're starting the game with those injuries to the O-line. You know, Tom, you may have a little bit of fuel left in your system, but you're not running like that. And, well, Randy Gregory's gone on. He was a huge part of their sacks. But I still think the Cowboys are going to win.
I actually agree, especially if Godwin doesn't play.
All right, the last game that I have had to be this one. The Bills at the Rams.
Don't act surprised,
people. The Rams money line. You know it. It's coming. The Bills might win the Super Bowl this year, but they do not win Week 1 against the motherfucking Rams. You go onto the Rams Instagram, the Rams Twitter. You watch that video 5 times, and you tell me the Bills are going to beat the Rams. And I will tell you it's a fucking lie.
I was just about to say this.
What's my picks?
You know what's crazy?
The video yesterday, I saw it in his eyes that this pick was being made.
Tomorrow night, the winner of the game will not be the Rams. That shit's going to Buffalo. I'm sorry to tell you.
Who the fuck is that guy?
A man with some
you can't blame him though. Buffalo's got a squad.
Buffalo's angry. Von Miller.
They do have a squad, but we got a squad too.
Y'all don't got OBJ.
It's gonna be good.
Odell is going to the winner.
Robert Woods is gone. Allen Robinson's not
I
that
don't
guy.
give a fuck about OBJ anymore. We didn't have him to start last year either. We only need him to finish. We don't need him to start. We didn't need him to start last year. We don't need him to start this year. It doesn't matter. We didn't have Odell Week 1 last year. We won the Super Bowl. We don't have Odell Week 1 this year. We're not going to win the Super Bowl, but we'll fucking win Week 1.
Buffalo money line.
Cap. Fucking fuck.
Well,
I'm so mad you were against me on that one.
We got 3 of us out of the way just there, so
Luke.
only one left.
Well, obviously I got the Vikings money line because, you know, it's just time. It's time for the Packers to lose.
Yes.
But next up, we got the man coming into his new team to go into his old house to bring his team the fucking W. And that's going to be Russ Daddy marching into Seattle, taking the -6.5 spread for the Denver Broncos, even though it's probably you're probably safe taking the -20.5 spread on this fucking game for the Denver Broncos because it's gonna be a murder fest. Russell Wilson's gonna let loose. It's gonna be ugly. But to wrap it up with my third pick, because Call of Duty has not been released yet, we are taking the Cardinals money line against the Kansas City Chiefs because Mahomes still needs to figure out with his receivers. He has a couple new ones. Murray doesn't have that many new ones. He is going to be cooking from the fucking start because COD is not out. He has all the time to focus on football. Expect a +200 upset, and I'll give you the odds for that lay, which is +1,045. Throw 50, get 572. And if you're feeling really crazy, add my college picks to that boy, get +7,869 for throw $50, get 3,984 bones. Do with that information as you please.
I don't even know what to say.
I fucking love it. I love it.
That's why you don't do drugs, kids.
All right, moving on. We have the rest of the NFL Week 1 games. We'll talk about each one as much as we feel like they need to be talked about. Some of them not as much as others, I feel like. We talked about the Bills and Rams, had to pick on that one. Saints going to Atlanta to take on the Falcons Week 1. Thoughts?
Saints should go out there, and Jameis, I'm so excited for him to come back. I think he should put on a show, and I think the only person on the Falcons that I'm interested in watching is how Cordero Patterson responds this year, because I already know that Pitts is still going to be good.
Nah, I'm looking
I'm
at
interested in seeing their defense, if Atlanta has any defense at all.
what's his name? Who's that?
I'm taking New Orleans.
Yes,
Like
of course.
Desmond
I am as well. Yes.
No, they got Desmond Ritter. He's not gonna play.
No, it's Mariota, baby.
Yep.
Mariota.
I want Mariota to shine.
Me too, bro.
I'd like him
I
to
want
do good
the
again.
QB duel fest. I just want them to go back and forth and ball out. I'd love it.
I was upset when Mariota lost his first job. I was like, this is bullshit. I was like, I like him. He's good. What's wrong with Mariota? And everyone's like,
Average.
Mariota fucks fuck up. I'm like, what do you do? What do you do? Was that bad?
Beef.
And there was some beef, but he's fine. He's all right now. He's
So are we all
mobile,
riding
which
the
means that he
Saints?
can stay in the league. Yeah, I think we are. Luke?
I guess I could ride the Saints.
Well, what do you want to do?
What do you want, Luke? What do you want to
What do you
do?
want to do?
Do you want me to look deeper into this?
I
I'll
don't
give
know,
you the
do I?
craziest pick.
I don't know who's out here looking deep into the Saints and Falcons game, but if you did, tell me what you know.
He does drugs.
I don't know. Alvin Kamara is about to just get 18 touchdowns. Beat them easy.
You got it all wrong, bud. You got it all wrong.
Saints.
You got it all wrong.
I'm down to ride the
I'll
Saints.
tell you how this game's gonna go. I'm gonna tell you this was gonna happen. Alvin Kamara, he's gonna get his touches. He's gonna get a good amount of touches. He's gonna put up some nice stats. I give you 16 on the fantasy board. But Jameis Winston, he's gonna fling that bitch. He's gonna go Tampa Bay style, no interceptions.
Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez.
He's gonna
Now
be,
that's funny.
he's gonna be hitting that boy Michael Thomas up, hitting that boy Jarvis Landry up, and it's gonna be a slaughterfest.
I agree.
There's a reason he's the only one who.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Respect.
There's a reason he went 30 for 30.
Hey,
There's a reason.
you got to get surgery in that eye.
Bring that boy.
It's stuck. Man,
Yeah.
again.
He didn't tear his ACL
Problem
last
is-
year. He
problem
was on
is they don't
fucking
have-
MVP run.
They don't have a surgery for the brain. It makes you stop licking your fingers for a dub. But next game we got up, Browns and Panthers.
Panthers.
Browns.
Give
Yeah.
me Baker Mayfield.
I don't
Give
even
me
need
Panthers.
All right. Okay. No
We're
need to
gonna-
talk about the controversy team. We're gonna move on.
I just got to see.
It's fuck the Browns until further notice.
CMC
Next
though.
up,
What
or
about
my
him?
bad.
Will Christian
about
McCaffrey
him?
survive the first game?
Yeah, he'll survive the
Yes.
first 3 weeks.
Usually
and then
gets
he'll
through
get
the
into,
first
week
couple.
4.
He gets through week 1, week 2. It's the week 3-4 boundary that we need to break.
Yeah.
Next game up, 49ers and Bears. Bears, I think, are going to finish in the top 5 for the draft lottery this year. So I'm going to take the 49ers.
This one's going to put me to sleep.
Yeah.
Trey Lance,
That's probably an under bet for me.
Give me the 49ers in a pretty not exciting game. And I think that Trey Lance is going to do I think that Fields is going to do And I think when the game's over, I'm going to go, that game was
Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably one of the weaker week 1. Bottom 30.
Yeah, like a 17-3, 17-7 type game. That's what I'm thinking. Nothing too special.
I don't
49ers
know.
and Bears, probably a 14-3 game.
Yeah.
Me the Niners.
Anyways, next up, Pittsburgh Steelers going to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Mitch Trubisky versus Joe Burrow.
We know
I think the Bengals at home should have a fucking atmosphere like
know who's
no
winning.
other.
right.
That atmosphere should be crazy in Cincinnati, and I think that I'd be
Yeah,
shocked. if the Bengals
obviously
lost.
the Steelers.
it would be nuts if Cincinnati lost this game. I have to agree because Pittsburgh needs to figure a lot out. There's a lot they don't have figured out that they need to figure out, and it's going to take probably half the year.
What'd you say, Jess?
Apologize, Luke.
I'm taking the Bengals.
What did he say first?
Thank you.
He must have.
He
said
say,
something.
Taking Pittsburgh.
I said obviously Pittsburgh.
Oh my God! Next game we got the Lions and the Eagles.
Now listen, this game is not going to be a blowout. This is not going to be like last time. The Lions
This game
played.
is everything.
This
What do you mean?
game is
This is a Super Bowl.
probably going to end in a loss, but it will be by 3-7.
Also,
It cannot end in a loss.
Want to point
It
out
cannot end in a
before,
loss.
before you name the picks, I just want to say that the Lions home opener is sold out. Only standing room tickets are available, and it's the first time that a game has standing room only tickets since 2019. So the atmosphere
That's
will
why
also
it can't
doesn't.
end in a loss. It can't.
Listen,
It simply can't. They will boo. They will boo the team out of the building, and I can't do this again. All right, we need to win week 1 at least.
Listen, I think
It will be something.
I think the
We have
Lions
to.
are going to win week 1, but in my lay, I just don't have it in me to put the Lions money line. And
Who the fuck is that guy?
when money is on the line, I'm not putting the Lions money line down.
That's whack. I just don't
But
think
I
the
think-
Eagles this week. But to
I
say
think they're gonna win, but I can't put my money.
You
on it.
are confusing the shit out of my head.
I can't put my money on it, but I think they're gonna win.
I have no fucking idea. I would flip a coin. Here's how I'm gonna look at it.
You better give me your full-fledged analysis. I don't want any bullshit.
All right. I think we're gonna start off the game going into halftime down. I think we're gonna come back in the fourth quarter up. Philly's gonna score again. We're gonna lose in the last minute. I'm gonna be pissed off, and we're gonna lose. Give me the Eagles.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Looks like we're Splitsville. I'm actually surprised Jesse didn't pick them because he's gonna be at
I
the game.
can't go backwards. All right. My lay is placed. I'm not going backwards. I got to
Sorry,
take
Ty. I wanted to, but I just can't.
I don't care. We're winning. That is what matters.
My thought is there.
I don't
just not
care.
the money.
How big of a hater you are, Jesse fucking turning his fucking ticket or wear a goddamn Eagle jersey, because why are you even going? Next up, the Colts and the Texans.
Just don't see it.
The
Turn
Colts
in
should
your
molest
fandom.
them. Jonathan Taylor should molest them. I don't think anything shocking should happen in this game. I think it should be a 24-31-7 game. Give me the Colts.
You know, we had the same
Somewhere
very
between 24 and
conversation.
31 to 7.
We had this same very conversation about the Colts last year when they played Jacksonville. Or was
That was
it-
different. There was a lot on the
Okay, that
line.
was
There
different
a lot to go.
circumstances, different team, different point of the year. You can't just keep bringing up last year for these fucking
Different
week one games.
quarterback.
My God. Stop bringing up
Would
last
you-
year for week one.
It's the same thing.
Reset the fucking mindset.
It was the same thing. You're talking about absolutely molesting a team the exact same way. Very similarly. I can't say that word. Fuck it. But you can't hate me for bringing up that when it's that similar. So I'm
is.
sorry. So fuck
is.
you, Dylan.
So
For
let me guess,
hating
so you're riding
everything.
Houston?
Yeah.
No, I'm not riding
What?
Houston.
Oh,
You make
God,
my
no.
head
What's the
Sorry
spread?
for bringing up fun information for the pod about games that we have to fill in information for, Dylan. Fuck you.
That game doesn't have jack shit to do with week one.
This game has
does when
everything
you're
to do with
talking
week
about-
1. It's a fucking week 1 football game.
God damn
This
it.
game
Everything
does.
has to do with it. Oh, let's compare
I'm
week
done with it.
2's game
I'm
to
done with it. I'm done with it. Fuck. It's killing my eardrums and any type of audience we could have possibly had. The Patriots and the Dolphins are the next game up. The Patriots-Dolphins matchup is probably going to be one of the closer games this week.
Yeah, I agree.
I think since they got rid of J.C. Jackson, their defense is completely different.
I'm taking the Patriots.
I'm taking Dolphins.
I expect to be the only one taking the Patriots.
Why?
Why? Because I expect all three of you to take Miami. I know that Luke and Tyler love Tua, and I know that, or not Tyler doesn't love Tua, but he's riding them this year. And fucking Luke loves Tua. And I also didn't expect you to take the defense after what you just said. So I expect it to be 3-1. And why am I taking fucking them to win the game? Is because, one, I don't know why, but I just trust Mac Jones after what I saw last year, and I think that he's a very decent quarterback. On the defensive side, I understand J.C. Jackson's gone, but if there's any head coach that I trust with a defense that can still put up good numbers, because he did it when he had Cam Newton as a quarterback and still somehow put up great defensive, that's Bill Belichick. So I would understand that everyone would probably take Miami, but I'm going to take New England in a very close game.
The New England upset. Heard that.
That's what I'm taking.
Yeah, I got that Miami defense and the Miami offense looking good.
I think that they will be a high-scoring game, to be honest. But Tyler, you got
super problem.
I got Miami, but I mean, it's because I think Miami's a better football team. It's not because I'm gonna dick suck a quarterback or because I'm gonna fucking cock ride a team. It's because I think that one football team is better than the other football team, and I think that Miami is better than New England.
Gotcha.
I'll do it.
That's
Tua's about to show why he's
But
the most accurate
He's not gonna.
QB
No.
in the NFL.
He will. You got no problem.
He can.
He's about to be throwing
I'm not
laser
like
beam
that, though.
dots
So don't you ever
to Tyreek
describe me
Hill.
like this guy. Oh God.
He's about to be throwing laser beam dots to Tyreek Hill to one side, laser beam dots to Waddle on his other side. He's not gonna know he's not gonna know what to do. He's gonna be throwing so many dots. He's about to have 100% accuracy after week 1.
Luke, get
You can't even say that shit with
mouth.
He didn't. He has to get it out of the system. If it doesn't get out now, it's never gonna get out. All right, that's how I feel. I feel like it has to come out. The Ravens and the Jets game is not worth talking about. Neither is the Jaguars and Commanders. So forgive us, but I'm not talking about those games. The Titans and Giants game was covered. The Chiefs and Cardinals game was covered. The Raiders and the Chargers game.
The Chiefs and Cardinals game was only covered by Luke.
You want me to
he
start?
did a great job.
I can start this.
I'm taking Kansas City. I don't think he did a great job. I'm taking Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to go down there and do.
Okay,
Kansas
but that's amazing. Dylan has the Chiefs. The next game is the Raiders and the Chargers. It's been 57 minutes, and we have to keep pushing along here, so we're not talking about that game. It was covered. Next up, we have the Raiders and the Chargers. Jesse.
Raiders. I know I said the Chargers are going to win the championship, but they're not starting off the year 1-0. The Raiders are going to be.
Why is that?
Because the Raiders have the addition of Chandler Jones. And I just feel like that adds a lot of rush factor with Max Crosby on the other side, and it's going to be a problem for the boys. And the offense is finally going to have more than just the main tight end and Hunter Renfrow. You know, like they haven't really
Darren
had
Waller?
Downfield. Trust me, I didn't forget his name.
Okay, I was like, what?
They haven't had like that third person that just opens it up, because not a lot of teams we've seen with two guys are able to like truly be efficient with just two. It's always that three group that kills it the most. So with the addition of Monte Adams, I just feel like they're going to be able to outshoot with them boys. But it's going to be a good-ass game.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers because you mentioned that little duo over there in the Raiders, but I think the best defensive duo in the league right now is Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. I think that those two over on the defensive side are also going to play a giant factor over on that defense. Plus, we know that secondary has been getting better with Derwin James and so. And that offense is probably still going to be great with Herbert. So I got the Chargers.
I think it's going to be a good-ass game. I think it's going to be one of the best games of the
Give me the over, whatever the fuck it is. Just give me that.
Because J.C. Jackson's on the Chargers.
Hey, look, Jesse, all I got to say is you've been playing Madden. I've been playing Madden. There's one name that just keeps popping up, and he happens to play for the Chargers, and he happens to be a 6'8" tight end who weighs 240 pounds. So Donald Parham Jr., Gerald Everett, Mike Williams, Herbert, Eckler, and Keenan Allen, I think, are a good 5-some instead of the 3-some Even though I have Josh Jacobs, I don't think that he is a great running back. I think he's a good running back. I think he has good spurts and bad spurts, but he's not consistent. I don't know. I like both teams, but I think the LA Chargers, when it comes to the offense versus offense comparison, packs more of a punch. Even though the Raiders added Devontae Adams, I think that the Chargers offense gels better together, at least from what I know, because I haven't seen the Raiders offense for a full season, with what they have. So, I mean, it depends, but at the same time, the way I see it, the Chargers have more of a punch to throw with their offense.
I think it's going to be a fantastic game. I agree.
Mm-hmm. That game's definitely one that I want to watch. Talked about Packers, Vikings, Buccaneers, and Cowboys. If anyone wants to touch on that one.
No, I'm also writing Cowboys.
For sure.
So is Luke.
And the last game Monday night is Broncos Seahawks. Does anyone think that the Broncos are not going to kill the Seahawks? Because I think they're going to kill the Seahawks. Luke said they're going to kill the Seahawks, and I think it only makes perfect sense. I mean, that place is going to be filled with Russell Wilson fans, not Seahawks fans. So it's a home game for the Broncos. And that's all we have for the NFL. So we covered every single game. Next week we might not do it, or we'll do it a faster way because I'm going to find a way around it. But either way, that is football. We are moving on to the MLB with Dylan and Jesse when we come back.
What's going on, guys? Tyco here, taking a quick break in the action to tell you about sixpackcoverage.com. You can go on there and check out all your favorite sports, finance, food and travel, fitness, and entertainment podcasts. They've got it all on there, as well as content from all of your favorite colleges, with more on the way and more added every day. So make sure you check that out, as well as the merchandise tab. Be sure to get all of your six-pack coverage gear at the merch tab there with the hats, flags, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys check it out today, sixpackcoverage.com.
I promise you I will make this whole thing short. Okay. So starting off, I believe the first thing that we have is the Los Angeles Show Trouts. Yes, they are the Show Trouts because all they are is Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. Their 1 through 3 hitters are hitting 826 OPS, which is the third best in the MLB. Their 4 through 9 hitters are hitting 586. OPS is the worst in the MLB. Jesse also showed me a crazy stat on their pitching the other day. Just Shohei Ohtani being the only person on that team that can pitch. Jesse, talk about the hitting and the pitching and everything I just said because I physically can't do it anymore.
Yeah, no. Taylor Ward, Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani. Most 75% of those games.
Yeah. And here's what you need to know. The Angels, fuck the Angels. I'm fucking done with the Angels. That's all I can say without going on a rant. But also staying on the Angels, I actually have something good to talk about. And that is Shohei Ohtani and Cody Clemens. Yes, the Tigers lost 10-0 to the Angels. And in that game, you're thinking it's probably not possibly a good moment for Detroit. But actually, there was. Cody Clemens, who was not a pitcher, he is, of course, a position player that is called up this year for the Detroit Tigers, got to pitch in that game, got to face Shohei Ohtani, got him into a 1-2 count, and struck him out looking. So, that's insane. What made it even better is that he got the ball back, Shohei Ohtani signed the ball and said, what a nasty pitch with his signature, and he got that in the case. So, there it is right there. It says, what a nasty pitch. He got the signature with the ball in the case. It's an absolutely great moment for Detroit when everything is pile of shit. So, shout out to Cody Clemens. Shout out to Detroit.
It's a nice moment.
It was a nice moment. But you know what's not nice? Being a Mets fan. Because the Mets are starting to be the Mets. The Braves are on the upcline. The Mets are on the decline. And Jerry Seinfeld went on Twitter today and blames it all on Timmy Trumpet. He blames it all on the walkout. He says, ever since that shit happened, they've been on the decline, and he's pissed. And I think that's hilarious that he pointed that out and I looked at the record. He's not wrong. Where you have Craig Kimbrell over here, ever since he had let it go as his fucking walkout, he's been 6-0 and hasn't given up a hit. So it's wild right now, yes. But what's important is it's staying back on track. The Braves have finally.
Wait. He's coming out to Let It Go, the
Let
Disney
It Go.
song?
Yes, that's his walkout
Who?
son. Craig Kimbrell, closer for the Dodgers, and he's been 6-0. Yes.
Hey, all I gotta say is this, Dylan, man. The Dodgers wear a really nice color blue. A really nice blue.
They do. I understand exactly what that means.
Dodgers for the World Series, bitches. Let it go.
We already know. Tyler just needed something to ride. He just needed a catchphrase. He needed something, and there he's got it. Now, the Braves have caught up to the Mets in the NL East. Jesse, I just have one question for you. Do you think the Mets are going to continue to Met it up and really let this thing slip away and the Braves take the one, or will they come back and claim it at the end?
Braves will take it.
I agree, 100%. I think the Mets are going to Met it up. I think if you see them in the playoffs, you see them in the wild card, barely sneaking in. And it's going to be a hard wild card to make right now, I will say that. But another thing to point out is when the Braves get rolling, and I think we saw this last year, it's hard to stop them. The good thing, the difference just between last year is they started rolling. It only took them 1 month to start rolling. This year it took them half a year. But hey, you know what the thing is that they knew the Mets were going to be the Mets, and I think we all kind of did. And shit, here we are. But finally, I get to point out something great. I get to point out from my Blue Jays, Bo Bichette had a 3-home run game. Bo Bichette had 4 homers in his last 6 at-bats. And if you're smelling what I'm smelling, you're probably thinking what I'm thinking. Yes, he is the player of the week. Bo Bichette. Finally, I got a fucking Blue Jay. We got it before Vladdy. You want to know why? Because Bo Bichette's numbers the last 7 games have been off the fucking charts. He has, in 31 at-bats, 16 hits, 5 home runs, 14 RBIs, average of 516, on base percentage is 531. His slugging's over 1,000. He's been playing fantastic. And for a team that's in a wild card push with Baltimore and Tampa Bay right now, you need players to step up. And I'm glad to see Bo Bichette proving that he can be one of those players that steps up when the team needs him. Jesse, anything to say on Bo? I know you're not the biggest Blue Jay guy, but I mean it's Bo. You like Bo. You're muted.
You think I'm going to sit here and advocate for Bo Bichette winning Player of the Week like he didn't hit those 4 home runs against the Orioles? Yeah. Move along.
All right, next piece of news to point out here is Aaron Judge versus the Detroit Tigers. Why is it Aaron Judge versus the Detroit Tigers? Because I have a stat to point out for you. The Detroit Tigers have 80 home runs this season. 8-0. Aaron Judge has 54. He actually just hit 55 today. So, he has 55 home runs. The Tigers have 80. There's only a 25 home run differential. This is just one man. We have a full roster.
He's going to pass us.
If he passed us up, dude, we'd have to just say we're done. There's no fucking way. This is already embarrassing. The Tigers are always used for these type of arguments when someone's going crazy. I saw it with Ohtani a shit ton last year, but this is the worst one I've seen by far. This is absolutely pitiful to be a Detroit fan and see this stat. So the one thing I just want to say is last year we were mad about us not having any home run power. This year it has gotten worse. So that's all you need to know. And yet somehow Baez just made Team Puerto Rico for the World Baseball Classic. Fucking yippee. Who gives a fuck? Anyways, next thing. Albert Pujols. He hit 695. 695. 695. You know what that means? He has 27 games remaining. He has 5 home runs to get to 700. He will fucking do it. He will not get caught at 699. I don't even want that in the air. But 700 is getting hit. 100%. Albert will get it. We agree?
Yeah, he'll get it.
All right, it's happening.
He's not getting it.
That is all I have for the MLB.
He's not going to get it.
What?
He's not.
He's getting it. Don't say that.
He's not. He's going to choke.
No, don't say that.
He's going to choke.
He will get it.
And the pitcher that's pitching against him for his last at-bat is going to feel really bad, but he's going to gun it 100 miles per hour, not out of the park,
I need
but
somebody
into the catcher's mitt, and the game will be over.
Give him an
and just lob it.
85 mile per hour fastball right down the fucking middle. Please, just please. If he misses, it's on him.
I don't think he will. I don't know. I think he's gonna slow down. I think something's gonna happen. 96, 99, something. I don't know.
He's hitting 700.
I don't know.
Man.
Hey, without people like me, he wouldn't do it. All right. Without people like me, he wouldn't do it. So someone has to be against him. Pujols chased to 700. We'll see if he can pull that one off. But there's a couple UFC fights we have to talk about to see if they can pull off a win. So UFC with Snoop Luke is next, and that is all we will have
fight.
for today's podcast. So I will see you guys next time, but we got UFC coming up next.
I'm talking in guap, now I'm speaking in fluent. When I hit the road, I won't leave till I do it. Acting out of hand, I'm like, be what you doing. We started off good, can't believe that we ruined it, yeah. I tried to fix with a sewing kid, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah.
UFC with Snoop Luke.
News, because we got a recap from last weekend. Because Robert Whittaker took a third-round decision win over Marvin Vettori. And then for the heavyweight fight for the main event, we got to see Tai Tuivasa drop Cyril Gane in a dramatic fashion and not finish the fight. And then Cyril Gane get up, continue the fight. And later on in round 3, 4 minutes left and 23 seconds, Gane got the job done and put his lights out.
Why tie, bro? Why tie?
I told you he is slick.
It was an amazing fight, but
It was a
when
great
Luke
fight.
came out and showed me that Ty got knocked out, half of my soul just left my body. I was so sad, but at the same time, that fight was so good, and Gon is so impressive, and I think that this does nothing but just make his resume go up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you said, Luke, and you know that I hate saying this, and it's very fucking rare when I do, but I will give you all props, and I will say that you are 100% correct in your prediction and your premises, or whatever the fuck the word is. Analysis.
Well, now that we got done with that little recap, let's move on to some new fights announced, because we got Michael Chandler and Dustin Poirier fighting on November 12th at UFC 281 in New York.
Ali's kids. Glad to see them fighting.
I guess so.
I mean, they both just fought Ali and lost. I'm sorry, I had to say it.
I
But I will
know.
say,
He didn't really dominate them, so I wouldn't call them his
I
kids,
think this
but
should be
it was
not
wicked
like taking
KOs.
that out of it. I think this should be a fucking banger. This should be a standard bang fight. Really good fight.
It should. That's that. I'm excited for that one. But next up, we got Duplessis and Darren Till
Finally!
fighting on December 10th, UFC 282 in Las Vegas.
Till is back.
He's finally back. It's been a long minute since he's been back, but he's finally fucking back.
Thank you, God. It has been.
But
so
let's
long.
get into UFC 279, the pay-per-view that we've been kind of waiting for. And honestly, I'm more excited about this.
You've been waiting for the main event.
I have been. I have. We'll get into that main event after we get through the first 4 fights, because we're going to start off with the first fight. And it's going to be Johnny Walker and Ian Cutelaba. I think I said that right.
I'd be a fool to not bet Johnny Walker here. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm not taking Johnny Walker in this one. Yes. I don't know. This man, this is Johnny Walker's fight to stay in the UFC. He loses here, he's probably
That's why
in
he's
release.
gonna win, bro. He's
No.
great. No, here's what he's good at doing. He's good at doing. He'll win to stay alive. Then he'll maybe win again, get a big fight, and he'll lose. He'll lose again, and then it's back career line, and then he'll win. I'm telling you, bro. He will win this fight.
Not against Cutelaba. Not against him.
He will win this.
I mean,
fight.
he's not that great of a fighter, like, that much great of a fighter, but
I've only seen him one fight. That's all I've seen from him. And it was okay. But it was a decision one. So hard to judge a lot off that.
I think this is time where Johnny Walker walks his way out of the UFC.
God damn.
This loss.
Aggressive. Poor Johnny, man.
But moving on to fight number 2, we have Irene Aldana going up against Macy Chiasson.
You're going to have to tell me what to do here. I don't know either of these bitches.
Well, let's see. Macy's going to have to grapple, throw some bows, get close, throw some elbows, take it on the ground. and make it ugly. Irene just has to keep her distance and outbox the fuck out of her.
We taking Macy?
I'm taking Irene at a minus 185. I'm also taking Cutelaba at a minus 200 in the
For the
first
fuck
fight.
of it,
I
I'm
forgot to
going to
say
take
that.
Macy.
She is a plus 150. All right, I'm taking Irene, but moving on to fight number 3. This is where things start to get exciting because we have Kevin Holland going up against Daniel Rodriguez, the man who cannot stop saving situations and helping situations in real life. Kevin Holland.
I would feel like a piece of shit to not ride Kevin.
Kevin Holland is the real life superhero. If you're not riding Kevin Holland, he's a minus 200, and he should be a minus 5,000 because he's a superhero.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Agreed, bro. He's a superhero. I would feel like a bad human if I didn't take Kevin.
But he is at a minus 200, while Daniel Rodriguez is a plus 170. So right now, I am currently on all the favorites.
Oh. That's why you don't do drugs, kids. And what's number 4?
Number 4 is Li Jiang going up against Tony Ferguson. Why is Tony doing this to himself? He looked good in his last fight, but up until his last fight, he didn't get his head punted off his body. That does something to a man.
I want to take Tony, but I can't.
I've literally said it. I haven't been taking Tony in his last couple fights. He's washed up. I've been saying it ever since, even though I will say it did shock me how good he looked in his last fight. But I'm still sticking with it. He's washed up. He's old. It's time for him to see ya. The UFC loves you. I still love you. But it's time to take things away.
This is 3 fights in a row that I wanted to take him, but I'm not.
I think we see his lights gets put out again.
Sadly, I agree. And I think this is going to be a decision fight, but I think this is going to be one of his better fights that he's had.
Because Li Jingliang, he's a brute. It's just, I mean, last time he kind of fought, it was against Kazmat. And, you just don't fight Kazmat. You get beaten by Kazmat.
Yeah. Speaking of Kazmat.
Speaking of Kazmat, yes, you're right. For the main event, we got Kazmat Chimaev going up against Nate Diaz. Let me tell you
He's been waiting for this one, people. I'll tell you that.
The opening line for this fight. Minus 1,200 Chimaev.
What number is this? 272 what?
What, the UFC event?
Yeah.
279.
They should call it UFC.
Can you not see the banners?
Now, oh my God, I'm an idiot. They should call it UFC 279, the funeral of Nate Diaz. I think that is exactly what it's going to be.
Because that's what it is. I mean, Nate's still being Nate, saying, fuck all this shit, fuck the UFC, fuck Kazmat, and I love it. And I love Nate. But I also love Kazmat a hell of a lot more, and I've been backing this motherfucker, and he's going to get himself a belt. That works.
100%. That is exactly what it is. And I agree. I'm taking Kazmat by KO in like fucking round 3. And I think it's just going to be from ground and pound, just fucking mauling, and the ref has to stop the fight because Nate's not defending himself. Not because he gets knocked out.
And this is just going to be a fight card where all the favorites are going to win, in my opinion.
Yeah, that should worry you. Because when all the favorites are projected to win, that's normally when one fuck shit will happen in one of the fights. You'll get a crazy upset, knockout. Hence the last card, when everything was going way too well.
I know.
Till that main event happened.
Usually when the surprise knockout happens, when literally you just don't see it coming, it's like, there's just no way this can happen. And then, bah! But that is not happening Saturday night because my picks are gonna fucking prevail and fucking hit for my 5-leg parlay to win me some goddamn money.
That's why you don't do drugs, kids.
That's all the UFC we have for tonight.
That's all the UFC, and that's all the news that we have for you tonight. So thank you very much for joining us on Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. Tyler, you want to let the people know where they can find us and the next time.
Oh, Dylan, I got this shit fucking in the bag. All right, motherfuckers, here's the deal. So you go to sixpackcoverage.com, you check us out. We're there. There's a lot of other people there. Things are great. What we really need to talk about right now is this Saturday at Central Michigan University, Ride the Tide tailgate's first ever tailgate on the first college tour that we're deciding to do. Will be taking place Saturday at Central Michigan University for their game against Southern Alabama. All the guys will be there, plus more. We got a decent amount of people showing up already from what I've heard, and should be plenty of fun. So make sure you guys meet us outside the stadium in the parking lot. There'll be some music. You'll probably know where to go. The flag, the six-pack flag will be there as well. So Central Michigan University, fire up chips. We'll see you guys on Saturday. Make sure to fire the fuck up on Saturday. Be there or be square. Don't be a square. We like circles around here. We keep it straight though. So straight people only. Sorry, but with that being said, don't show up in your fucking swimsuit. We gotta go. Check out sixpackcoverage.com for all the merchandise and everything you need. Yeah, don't be square. Peace out.